Hello lovelies, welcome to Narc Free Formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me. Today's episode is about the 5 things that the narcissist will do when you discard them first. Now, before I start, just quickly, if you like my video, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Alright lovelies, let's get down to it. So, first of all, I need to clarify, we don't actually discard anyone because we are not narcissists. Discard is a narc term. Okay, that's what they do. We either break up with them, leave them, or escape them. But we don't discard. So I just want to make that clear. All right, so there are a few things the narcissist will do if you make your getaway before they are ready to discard you. And this is the 5 things they will do in order, I might add, in order. So the first thing they're going to do is pretend it didn't happen. So you've had a fight, you've said it's over, we're done, you've broken up with them, and then the next morning they're sitting on the couch as though nothing's happened. So everything's all good and dandy. This is a narc tactic. This is the whole, if I just pretend something is one way, I'll make it that way. So if I just pretend that we're not broken up, then we're not broken up. And the thing is, it's confusing for you because you've just broken up with someone and now they're acting as though you haven't. It's gaslighting and crazy making because now you're wondering, well, maybe I wasn't very clear. But the thing is, you were clear. The narc knows damn well that you're trying to get away from them. They're just not ready to let you get away. They don't have secondary supply lined up to become primary supply. And that's the problem. Because if they had somewhere to go, they would be going. But they don't. So essentially, they are just using this tactic of la 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 la, I can't hear you, I can't hear you, la 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 la, I can't hear you. Right? Ignoring it, hoping it will go away. All right, so let's just say that you hold your ground and keep on pushing on through with the breakup. What happens next? Well, they're going to try to get you back into the situationship. And this could look like begging. So they could, appeal to you. They could tell you everything you want to hear. They can promise that they're going to change. That they really get it, like they didn't realize how close to losing you they really were, and how they will do anything and everything that you want, as long as you take them back. So begging, promising change. There could be tears. There could be guilt tripping as well. So they could do the whole, well, what about the children? But the reality is, if they gave 2 shits about the children, they wouldn't have done half the things they are doing. Most women will put up with a lot for the children. Most women will stay in relationships that are not serving them, that are not working for them, that they have no place being in, but they'll stay for the children. A narcissist knows this. This is why that is one of the first things that they will say if you have children, of course. And if you don't have children, they'll probably say something like, what about our future? What about our family? And I thought we were going to grow old together and have children and, grow old together. And so they, future fake you, sell you on the dream again. So there's guilt tripping involved. There's promising of change, begging, crying, but there may also be threatening. Narcs don't take no very well. They're not used to having people say no to them, essentially. They're not used to having people stand up for themselves, not used to, us not doing what they want. And so it comes a bit of a shock to them. So when it finally does process, they get a little bit mad. They get a little bit angry. So it's easy to start threatening, to start being a bully, to start shouting, and they're doing it essentially to make you feel like it's too much of a risk to break up with them. Like it would just be so much easier if we just go back to when we were all lovey and everything was good. And they kind of they'll do it in really subtle ways, but it's there. So when they're raging one minute, crying another, essentially what they're trying to do is show you, look, it can go this way where I get angry and destroy shit, or I can go this way where I'm crying and begging and all you've got to do is say yes and everything will be okay again. And a lot of the time that works. A lot of the time the fear of what may come next is so great for some people that they will go back to the narcissist. They will go back and put up with more abuse because it just seems like there's nowhere to escape. And it seems like the lesser of the two options, the lesser of the two evils. Better the devil you know. And they'll say that as well. They will say, no one will ever love you like I do. You'll never find a man like me. I know you better than anyone else. No one will love you like I do. Blah, blah, blah. The usual stuff. But when you're in that situation, when everyone's, the tensions are high, emotions are high, and you're just so drained and so stressed, it's easy to think, well, all right, I'll just go back to them. I'll save all of this, putting myself through all of this stress and anxiety. So, if the begging and the pleading and the promising of change doesn't work, the next thing that they will do is what I refer to as upping the ante. So, this is when they do their fake suicide attempts. This is when you get calls from the sheriff saying that your husband's been arrested. Can you come and pick him up, bail him out? This is when you get calls from the hospital saying that he's been involved in a car accident or he's got into a fight at the pub. So basically, these are your typical kind of cry for help scenarios. And essentially, as I said, it's just upping the ante. It's the whole, like, I know that you hate me, but I need you because without you, I'm going to destroy myself. Without you, I'm as good as dead. I can't do this without you. So they're appealing on your mothering instincts. They're appealing on your love and care for them as an individual and as a human being. You don't want to see them hurt. Like, you're trying to escape them, sure, but you don't want to see them hurt, and they know that, which is exactly why they're doing it. Sorry, I've got a fly trying to say hello. Shoo, be gone, evil beast. So yes, they will get arrested, go to jail, tell you they've got cancer, some horrible disease, or they'll say things like, I know that I have a problem, and then you'll hear some story about, they were sexually abused as a child, or their mother used to lock them in the basement when they were naughty. You'll hear some ridiculous story that is designed to appeal to your sympathy, to basically stop you from thinking about leaving, and getting you focused back on them again and how much they need you, and how much they just can't survive in this big bad world without you. And funnily enough, that's another trick that really works well. I mean, the thing is, all of these tricks, all these narcissistic dark arts, all of them work, which is why they do it, because all of these things work, because they appeal to our sense of love, care. We want to escape them, but we don't want bad things to happen to them. But that's the problem, is that we kind of care about them more than we care about ourselves at this stage, and that's just the way the narcissist wants it. All right, so the fourth step is this. So just say they've pretended it didn't work. Sorry, pretended you didn't break up, that didn't work. Then they begged and pleaded, that didn't work. Then they upped the ante and fake suicided or whatever, that didn't work. So the next thing is getting a new supply source. So they get a new victim, a new girlfriend, whatever, and essentially this is in part to punish you. It's also to fuel them, because they need fuel and they're getting seriously low on fuel by this stage. It's to distract them as well from any kind of feelings that they might have going on. But it's beautiful because it also makes you jealous, and it gives them the opportunity to triangulate you with the new victim. So essentially they use her to make you jealous, and they use you to make her insecure and jealous. And between the both of you, that will give them enough fuel to maintain themselves. So this is a really typical narc dark art, getting the new supply. And it's essentially just to say, oh, so you're over me, are you? All right, let's see how over me you really are. Take that, and see. And, and they sit back and watch. They pay attention. They observe. But the reality is, if you do not react the way they want, if you keep on leaving them, if you keep on walking in the opposite direction, then you get to step 5. And that is when they realize that you have nothing for them. You have no love, no fuel, no nothing. So essentially, you don't mean anything to them anymore, because you have nothing to give them. So in the narcissist's mind, if you don't have anything to give them, essentially that's pretty worthless. So this is when you get to the final point, which is destroy. You've probably all heard that saying, a narcissist destroys what it can't control. It's the same because it's true. The narcissist will now go out of its way to create a smear campaign about you and attack you on all different levels using any tools they have available. So, you can expect calls from everyone from the tax department to the RSPCA, child protection. You can expect things like your car to be damaged, your property to be damaged. You can expect things like rumours, whispers, stories being told to your friends, calls being made to your boss and your mother. This is what they do. When you have no value anymore and all you do is remind them of the failure, because they see this as a failure, their inability to maintain a fuel source. The fact that you escaped them has created a huge narcissistic injury. It wasn't supposed to go down like this. It was never supposed to go down like this. And the joke of all of this is, if at any step of these 5 points you do actually go back to them, they're not going to go, oh, thank God she's back and I'll do everything I can to make sure that never happens again. No. Oh, no. What they do is now they go, all right, she's leaving me. I've got to find someone to replace her stat. She could leave at any moment. And they're also thinking, and who the fuck does she think she is to leave me? Right? And so they start this little denigrating of you in their mind. So the devalue goes into overdrive. It may be subtle, but it's happening. Believe it, it's happening. And as I said, this is not your second chance. This is not, your possibly happily ever after. No, this has just bought the narcissist more time to punish you and to replace you. And the thing is, you can stay for years. They will just keep on trying on new people, different situations, different scenarios, until you decide, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't handle the cheating, the lying, the insecurity, the dishonesty. The other women, when you can't handle that anymore, that's when you will end up walking away. But they will keep you in that situation. They could have good sources of supply coming and going, but until they feel like jumping, they might just stay there. They might just stay in that, I think it's called linear space. I think it's a new word that I learned from my friend Tanya. Linear space. Not quite here, but not quite there. The in-between zone. The betwixt and between, they call it. So essentially, you could be in that space for years. It doesn't, just because, you've gone back to the narcissist, just because you're still together, doesn't mean a thing. All it means is you're in this devaluation stage while they are sourcing new supply frantically. That's what that means. All right, lovelies. So they are the five different, the five things that the narcissist is going to do if you discard them first. As I said, we don't discard because we're normal, healthy human beings. We break up with people. We escape predators. We don't discard people. So, on that note, darlings, this is for the people who are just coming out of their situationships. I've created the Narc Free Challenge, and that's an online course, and it's also a private Facebook group. Just quickly, I just want to go through some of the modules. So for anyone who's interested in doing the challenge, I cover modules such as the Narc Dark Arts, the rules of engagement, the Narc spheres and spaces, upping the ante, flying monkeys and smear campaigns, the Narc Cycle, explained, spring cleaning, and she lived happily ever after. Those are the modules that I cover in the Narc Free Challenge, and the point of the challenge is to not only help you identify what you've just lived through or what you're experiencing, it's to help you make sure that that never happens to you again. Okay, having it happen once in a lifetime is bad enough, but there are some people who go from one narcissistically abusive partner to the next, literally one to the next, and they just think that's what people are like. They just think that, you know, that all men are evil, all men are bastards, or, you know, that there's no good men. But the thing is, there are good men. There definitely are good men, but you're not going to find them if you date narcissists. Okay, so you need to learn how to identify them, which is why I created the Narc Free Challenge. It's about getting narc free for life without having to commit murder. And I think that's a really important little note there. No one wants to be going to jail over a narcissist. All right, lovelies, thank you for watching. Please remember to give it the thumbs up, give the video a thumbs up, share also widely on other social media platforms would be great to help me grow the channel. And if you've got anything to say, leave it in the comments. You know, I always read them. All right, lovelies, thanks for watching.